You know, I have my camera turned. I don't know why it turned, but as you can see in pictures, those are launch vehicles carrying satellites in space. That was my specialty, was launches. The company that I work for controlled pads 34A and B, and they launched 90 satellites from those two pads. The satellites were, after the shuttle Challenger had blown up, the government said they'd no longer carry commercial satellites on the shuttle. So the launch business became a huge business. And on Pad A, they fired 40 classified military launches, where I had a top secret compartmentalized clearance so I could watch these launches, but I wasn't allowed into mission control on those launches. Now, on all the commercial launches, we called it $30 million in premium for a 30-minute ride at 5% commission. Okay? So we wanted successes every time, but we did have one blow up 3,000 miles downrange as the second stage started, and that was a devastating loss of another Japanese high-def television satellite, and they had lost two on Arianespace, which can carry two. They lost one on a Delta rocket, and they lost one on the Atlas Centaur. So they thought it was a Western conspiracy to keep them from putting up high-def satellites because we didn't have a we didn't have a company that built high-definition television yet. In the other corner down at the bottom, those are my invitations to the inaugural address and the inaugural ball afterwards. Now mine, they say I was to participate also. Now, if I had the money, we're not a rich family. If I'd had the money, I'd have taken my kids to Washington, D.C. to see a spectacular, something that they could never see in their lifetime, usually an inauguration of a president from a VIP booth. And then the ball afterwards, all black tie. I used to go to so many because, as you know, defense contractors, a lot of them are connected to the Democratic Party. In my first 8 years, I didn't have that problem because Reagan was the president. But as soon as Bill Clinton became president, and we had to hold two $5,000 plate dinners at our country club in St. Louis, and one of the times Bill Clinton sat down right next to me, which I had met him through Tyson's Foods. We did business with Tyson, and they had three bedroom, 2-bath houses on Beaver Lake, and we used to go down there and fish and have a good time. You know, Bill had his own setup at his house, the one he was staying at, and a lot of the senior personnel would follow him to his house, or a lot of the junior personnel like me, we sat around and talked. That's when I had heard Bill Clinton come into Tyson's and said, "Hey, is our deal done?" And they said, "Yeah." And I got to talking to people that worked for Tyson's that were there, and I said, "Well, hey, what were they talking about?" Because he just butted into a meeting that we were having in their boardroom. We were actually having lunch in their boardroom. unbelievably good fried chicken, milk gravy, real mashed potatoes. I mean, in their boardroom. And all of a sudden, Bill Clinton just walks in and interrupts. Well, I found out what the deal was. He had picked 4 of the biggest employers in Arkansas so that he personally he wanted Tyson's Foods to hire 5,000 new employees. And for that, he gave them rights to dump their waste, chicken poop, into the Arkansas River, which is pollution. J.B. Hunt was allowed to bury their used oil on federal land. And the other 2 companies, you can guess one, Walmart, and you can guess one of the other ones too, they were all given special deals to hire 5,000 people. And if you look at Bill Clinton's speeches to the U.S. population, he said, we have 0 unemployment in Arkansas. That's how good I am as a leader. We didn't tell that he had 0 unemployment because he paid for it. So then we have this fundraiser for Bill Clinton. He sits down next to me. I'm with 2 other leaders of AT&T. And he starts to talk to me. And we get into a conversation, very deep conversation. And about 45 minutes later, he looks at me straight in the eyes and he says, hey, you have to be one of the most conservative Republicans I've ever met. And he said, I'd just like to know why you're here. I said, I'm here because you're going to win. And I work with a defense firm. And you guys usually control it. And he looked at me, and he looked at me dead in the eye and said, I will always remember you, because as of tonight, the 400 people I've talked to, you are the only person in this group that has told me the truth, directly, straight to my face. And he said, I'll always remember that, because most people don't do that. They're always trying to kiss ass or do stuff to get them, more business. But the only thing that came out of those 2 fundraisers was when Bill Clinton was elected, we as a company all of a sudden picked up 2 new consultants. One, Secretary of the Democratic National Convention. 2, a major money and power broker in St. Louis. And they both got $250,000 a year for 25 years. And even their families, when they died, wanted the $250,000 still. We told them good jump. Okay? And that's how the Democrats work. That's how James Comey got his special jobs with Lockheed Martin and with HSBC Holdings, where in Geneva they had every one of Clinton's billionaires and her foundation and the initiative, and everything was banked through this bank, which they're considered one of the strongest banks in the world. But in the United States, we consider HSBC to be low-end credit cards, things like that. Well, when James Comey was on the board for the 3 or 4 years he was on the board, every job the Clintons gave him, he made $1 million to $1.5 million a year. So since he signed off on the Northridge pardon for Eric Holder and Bill Clinton, he was considered in their camp now. And his problem as being the director of the FBI is if they brought up those situations, the Republicans, he'd have been asked to be fired a long time ago. If you want to know why he protected Loretta Lynch and Hillary Clinton, it was because they had given him 5 cherry jobs before he was the cherriest job of the director of the FBI, who kept Hillary out of jail, who kept Obama out of jail, who kept Loretta Lynch and every one of their aides. And why in the hell did he give them all immunities? It's because he was connected to them since 2001. Now, if you don't know this, look it up in Wikipedia or wherever. So, you know what? James Comey should have been fired a long time ago just for his connections with the Clintons and the jobs that he had received because he signed off on the Mark Rich pardon. So please, don't tell me a man that never carried a gun or a badge could lead the FBI. Now, say one of his agents comes in and says, boss, you know, I just had to kick the door in this terrorist's house and I had to kill 5 people. And I don't know how to handle it. Well, how the heck could James Comey counsel him when he's never done it himself? That's the stupidity behind putting James Comey as the director of the FBI. He was just connected already to the Clintons and Obama when he walked into the job. So, please, Democrats, liberals, all you people, look into his background. Or if you just say, oh, well, that was cool because he was working with him. No, it's not cool. He should, while we were screwing with Hillary's emails, we forgot, or as a country was reported, that she was closing down the Clinton Foundation and its initiative that were both in this HSBC bank in Geneva, Switzerland. So don't tell me that they were doing good. They were just having places to hide their dough to launder it. That's what Hillary was great at, laundering money. So look it up and be smart.